Well, it's now January 2024, and today we're going to start on our sixth section, and we're walking from Porthgain to Whitesands. It's about 9.5–10 miles. The weather is fair. We don't have too much wind today. Light cloud. We hope there's going to be no rain, but it's January and hey ho, here we are on our sixth section. So it'd be good to see what the coast path looks like in January. I think it's going to be quite wet on the ground. We've had a lot of rain for about a month previous. Might be muddy, but still fantastic views. Porthgain as ever looks amazing. And we have some people setting off at the start of the walk now with me. Okay, this is the group today, and we are off. Now, Porthgain used to be incredibly busy with brickworks and I think lead works as well, and a harbour that had boats coming in. You can see the harbour, as it were, I call them pepper pots, painted so that the boats came into the right cove. And all of this has now, well, it's now quiet. It's all gone away. There's a big notice board at Porthgain explaining the whole history of the place, but it was an incredibly industrial and busy port for many years. But it's now a picturesque small harbour with a good fish and chip shop. So we're going up to where there's a pump house, and then we climb some steep steps onto the footpath. Aberidi, 2 miles, it says. So here we go, steep steps, the start of the morning. Looking at Porthgain behind us.
She's actually not a Welsh border collie. She's from Wales.
Yeah.
But she's a border. She's a border collie, she's not a Welsh border.
Yeah, the lads is half English, family and half Welsh.
Okay, we're now at the top of the steps, and we can see the pepper pot one side and the other side showing the cove. The sea, as ever in Pembrokeshire, a beautiful turquoise colour, even in January, even when the sun's not out yet. Fantastic. And so now we go along here, the coast path to Aberidi, about 2 miles. We can see here remnants of the works that were going on before. There's the odd building that's now derelict. I said it used to be that there were brickworks here and slate works as well. And if you go up here in a moment, you will see that there is a tramway where they used to bring the slate down into Porthgain, down to the harbour. We've also got sheep up here as well. We have a sheep with a sheepdog, so it's a good thing the dog is well on the lead. Yeah. But yeah, actually, I've never looked at it like this, but everywhere you look, there is ruins of buildings. There's further ruins down there, here. Everywhere you look.
Yeah, so this is sort of
looking back, you can actually see where we've walked from. Look, if I keep the camera still, you can see the Strumblehead Lighthouse. We were there a couple of sections ago, and we've walked all along that coastline to Porthgain. So pretty good weather today. Lovely view. Okay, we've just turned the corner, and look at the view in front of us. We can see all the way over to Carnllidi and Pembrokeshire, and the coast path beyond. Again, it's a lovely day, not windy, and really looking forward to doing this stretch of walk. Nice coves and bays we're passing. Birds there, I think they're pigeons. We've just stopped by a bay. Is it Porthgain? Trice-Liven. We've just stopped by a bay. The tide is in, so we're just checking. It is Trice-Liven we're looking at now. Can't see the sands at the moment, but this is certainly a glorious beach in the summer if you care to walk to it. It has very steep steps down it, but because it's a walk, usually has nobody on it, so it's a marvellous beach. We go again. Nice bit of wall here so you don't fall over. We're just coming in to the Blue Lagoon, which we might take a quick look at. Signpost here that says, I think, go left into Aberidi. So again, splendid views. It's so nice walking with that wind. It's almost like a summer's day when you're wrapped up. And lots of sheep everywhere. This seems to be a feature of today's walk. I know it was here I watched on TV some years ago when they did the Red Bull diving. Imagining standing up here diving down into the Blue Lagoon, not something I'd like to do. I think it's fairly steep down here. Whoa. Okay, we can see there. Look down here. Let's see. Yeah, let's say it's a quite calm day, isn't it? We haven't got crashing waves today. It's a bit. So this would be where the diving boards would have been for diving off. The diving competition that I just said about the high diving. You can see the water is absolutely deep turquoise, and you can see the platforms that are used down below that they jump off in the summer. So quite an interesting sight. Yeah, so here we are climbing down to Aberidi. It's a steep climb down, it's a path. I'll keep the camera on for a bit. If I start slipping, I'll turn it off. This used to be a big car park where the buses turned round, and in a storm, I think it's a fair while ago now, about 20 years ago, the car park and the floods were such that the car park disappeared. But it's still a popular spot to come in the summer. And it has a reasonable beach. So making our way down at the moment carefully. Just saying goodbye to Aberidi Beach. We've just seen a cormorant. Sorry I didn't get that on the camera. But again, beautiful here. Lovely, calm day. Not really any big waves at all. And the sea is still a fairly nice turquoise, even though it's winter. So setting off now along the footpath towards, I don't think there are any other stops now. It would be towards Carntliddy, all along this beautiful coastline. And there's a bit of gorse out there. And the footpath winds on along the coast. It's coming down to a babbling brook. This is the stream that we could see at the other side of the beach. The streams are still very full of water. We've had so much rain recently. It's a lovely sight. Very noisy. There it is coming out into the sea. Looking back now to Aberidi, on top of a hill. So as I said, looking into the bays, and with rocks everywhere and caves. Looking out to sea, there's the horizon. We've just passed Cairhys, Promontory Fort, and we are just moving on. We've just looked at our map to Castle Coch. Pembrokeshire has a plethora of promontory forts along the coast, of which you really can still see where they would have been. So they are a splendid sight. The Cairns, the C-A-E-R, and later on we'll be going to walking along a lovely bit of coast path. The beach near St David's is Carby, another care. We're now walking along past the Celtic camping sign. Signs also, footpath signs, quite clear. Brilliant scenery all the way along, lovely rocks. We're going round a bit of an inlet now. I don't think we'd be able to jump over the top, so we've got to walk round. It's a little muddy, but really not as bad as it has been. It's not that bad at all today. So going down, and I think we'll have to go up again. Gosh, can you see the path upwards? Rather steep. So going down and then going up. That's quite slippery. I'll go carefully. Keep the camera on for a bit. Just bumped into some people walking the coast path. There's certainly been less people today in January, but it is quite a nice day. You just asked me what am I doing. I'm the chair of the Friends of the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park, and we're walking the whole of the coast path in stages over the year. So I'm recording what the coast path looks like over the year, which is quite nice. You get different scenery.
Yeah.
Today we're walking to Whitesands, which is about 9.5–10 miles. So what are you up to today then?
So we're staying over there in St David's, but we're walking to Aberravy on the coastal path to explore. We've done it before, but we live in Cardiff, so we've escaped Cardiff for the weekend.
That's interesting, yeah. Why the best place to be is here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, so it's a nice day for a walk. Just met another group of people. Lots of people out today for the day walking from Cardiff, which is quite interesting. We're now looking at a very interesting section of coast, lovely rugged rocks, and Carnliddy is getting quite a lot nearer, which we'll be nearly there when we get there. So it's a beautiful day, light winds, good company, and a great place to be. Here we are, just got over a stile, some of the few stiles that are left on the stretch of coast path. And we've got Carnliddy looming, getting nearer by the footstep. A nice stretch. You can see the rock formations above, and then all the way down to Carnliddy. Good grassy footpath in front of us. Right, nearly going to the top of a hill. See what we get from the top. And Carnliddy again. That bit nearer. So looking over to Carnliddy and the fields in the foreground, we've actually spotted the Quaker settlement, the ruined Quaker settlement. Pretty certain you won't be able to see that on the video, but you can just see the odd chimney, ruined chimney sticking up. It would sit beneath Carnliddy. But lovely view here. and onwards and upwards up this hill. We've now got another notice about the Appalachian Trail. We would have to look this up. I say we're not off course, I don't think, but perhaps that's something to walk sometime. But this walk is obviously on the International Appalachian Trail. And we can now see beyond Carntledy. I think we're looking over now to Ramsey Island in the distance. So we can now see left along the coast. Off we go again. We should be looking down in a moment onto St David's and right round into St Bride's Bay, and right in the distance you may or may not be able to see that is Skomer Island. So we've definitely turned the corner to what we can see for the first time in this walk. So St David's in the distance and Skomer beyond. And down the hill now, we've just done a big up. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's not that wet at all, drained, dried. Good walking. And when you stop, it's so still. Enjoy that stillness. We've now had lunch and we're looking across the coast to quite an interesting rock formation along by the sea, and again we seem to have more waterfalls coming down into an inlet due to the amount of rain we've had recently. So quite a nice stretch here. Paths are good, that they're fairly drained. This part of the coast in the spring is absolutely beautiful and is the part of the coast that has a lot of bluebells. And we've often seen in spring curlews along this side of the coast. Nice gentle path. We've just done some climbing. We're on a reasonably gentle path now. I think they've even put some steps in. Coming up. We've just walked round a little way and it's really a most amazing waterfall. It's made all of the rocks smooth and it's pouring down the cliffs. This quite spectacular little inlet. And look at the view around the corner. Beautiful cliffs, bay, calmness. Amazing. And the horizon, you can actually see, it's sunset, but you can see a slight pink in the sky. Interesting rock formations. As we go along this path. Well, there you can see, yes, we're looking back, we're noticing we can now see the lighthouse, Stromblehead Lighthouse again. We thought we'd lost it, but it's back again. Look, as I'm about to walk off a cliff, hopefully it's not too steep when I get along here. No, it's not too bad. Just come up the hill, Pembrokeshire is now behind us. And we can see a nice bit of Pembrokeshire wall in front of us. Very neat. We're going ahead, we're going up another hill. And I guess we will see Carnegie at the top again. We may be able to see the Quaker settlement, the ruined Quaker settlement again. Get a bit higher. We're now practically on Carnegie, and we can see the Quaker settlement in front of us, the ruins of. Getting nearer. This is a lovely stretch. And pretty good walking conditions still. In the summer we get a lot of autumn, we get a lot of seals here. I've just met somebody else today on the coast path on a January day. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? What are you doing out today on a fairly cold January day, but it's rather beautiful out here, calm.
Yeah, very nice, isn't it? Just walking from Whitesands back to Aberivie, doing a bit of bird watching, some photography.
Right. Yeah, okay, we've seen a bit today. We've seen a chough, we've seen a cormorant, and quite a lot of rock pigeon. That's about it today. I don't know whether you've seen anything else.
Yeah, not too much. A couple of stone chats. Yeah, some rock pigeons as well. Yeah, not too much today, I'm afraid.
But it's great, isn't it, being out here any
It's
time
nice
of
just
year?
to be out, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so calm. It's so beautiful.
It is, yeah. No wind at all.
Right, fantastic. Okay, we'll have a good day.
You too.
Looking back to Pembrokeshire now in the distance behind us. Strumblehead even further away. And going forwards to Carnliddy. Path's a bit stony now, but we're well underway. We'll definitely get round between 3 and 4 o'clock this afternoon before it gets dark. And then the next walk is going to be in February. We should start getting slightly lighter nights, which will be good. So we've made it walking through the winter on the Pembrokeshire coast. We made it through December and November, and one of the reasons I'm walking throughout the year is to show that the Pembrokeshire coast is fantastic, whatever the weather and whatever the time of the year, and it really is. We're now within the confines of Carnegie, and the footpath goes up and over through a lot of ancient sites. We'll be walking through old, very early strip fields. Carnegie is on my left. And straight ahead are various camps, potentially forts. And at the end, Pen Arthur, a dolmen, which hopefully I will show you in a bit when we get there. So this land here that you can see now has been cultivated over many centuries, or many centuries ago. I guess it's reasonably sheltered because there is high land both sides. Today though we've got a completely calm day. Beautiful turquoise sea to my right. And it's spectacular. We're now looking at the strip fields and settlement between Carnegie and the coast. You can see lots of stones that are covered in moss, but you can see that they've been specifically laid in specific places, and there's the odd standing stone and what looks like very old walls making these into strip fields. I think this site is better to be seen from the air, but you can get some sort of idea from walking along at land level. So this is where we are at the moment, and we'll just be coming out by Porthgain in a moment. We can now see on the horizon, that's Ramsey Island. And in the sea, we've got the Bishops and the Clarks coming up. So we've gone round the corner now. And we'll be turning left in a bit. And then we've got a few 50, 100 miles, as it were, going left over the next few months. And here we are at Porthgain. What a beautiful beach. Nobody on it today. Lovely golden sand. Very picturesque. The National Trust horses are on the hill here. We've seen them at various points in our walk, in our previous day's walks. I'm looking back now to where Pen Arthur is. Can't quite see through the dolmen yet. I will carry on, and all should be revealed at the top of the hill. There we are. I hope you can see it. I can see it. Pen Arthur at the top of the hill. Quite small, can't get any nearer to show the picture of it, but that's the headland, and then steep down there is the sea. Next stop, if it's not the base of Ireland, is America. Here we are now at the top of the hill, looking down to Whitesands. The tide's right out, and we can see the whole of Ramsey Island to the right. And look at the way coming into Whitesands. Just look at the way that the water and the light are shining on the sand. What a huge beach today. Spectacular. We are wondering whether the stones we can see on our right are actually stones, or whether that is part of the forest exposed. We might go and have a look. A very excited dog somewhere. That's not a bird, I think that's an excited dog. Still got our dog, yes, on a lead. Wow. This is the site of St Patrick's Chapel, and there's a plaque to the chapel where they actually excavated graves. They found lots of children's graves, and they excavated it to stop the graves being exposed to the sea. That was a couple of years ago. I think there's a programme on TV about that. I think Digging for Britain covered it. A little bit muddy here, last bit. Gosh, very muddy. I think I'm going to go, last bit, I'm going to do a bit of a detour. It's getting boggy and boggier. This is the last bit. Gosh, just the very last bit we're going to get bogged down. Am I just going to go through it and walk through the middle of the mud? Help. You see? Oh, how have you got across? I'm just going to get absolutely...
I went further around.
Yeah. Just going to go for it, the very last bit of my walk. Okay. Right. onto terra firma again. And here we are at Whitesands car park. Go and get her. She won't come. Here's the whole beach. It's about as low tide as you can get today. It's amazing. But anyway, we're now at Whitesands car park, so that's the end of the 6th section.